Wei.
China International Supply Chain Expo is officially underway. Let's welcome Ms. Tian Wei, anchor of CGTN, to the stage as our host.
Thank you very much. Distinguished Vice Chairman Yu Jianlong, Expert General Economist Lu Junling, and the Deputy Director General Hu Wujie, and the Secretary General Dr. Hanid Hanafi. Governor of Astana International Finance Center, Mr. Renat Tanataro. Distinguished leaders and distinguished entrepreneurs and dear friends from media, good afternoon. Welcome to attend the thematic event on clean energy. I'm Tian Wei from CGTN. I'm very happy to gather with all of you at the third China International Supply Chain Expo to talk about this very important topic. In coping with the climate change and sustainable development issues, with the consensus reached, how to build the highly efficient, resilient, and effective supply chain has become important pillars to the transitions of the low carbon and green development. So this afternoon we gather here to discuss this thematic topic and to explore the future trajectories and pathways in the future and to pull the wisdoms together. And let's join hands together to build up this framework of the topic. First of all, please allow me, together with you, to give a warm applause to Mr. Yu Jianlong, Vice Chairman of the CCPIT, to deliver the speech.
Vice Chairman of China Council for Promotion of International Trade. 有请于先生。
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and dear friends, good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to meet you in Beijing to attend the third CISCE to talk about the green transition, the green future, and the green supply chain, and the transformation and reshaping of the supply chain. I'd like to extend the warmest congratulations and gratitude to all of you on behalf of CCPIT and to the dear friends who have been supportive to the convening of the Expo. Present here, the world is experiencing unprecedented experience, and the economic globalization has faced with countercurrents, and the industrial supply chain has been reconstructed. President Xi Jinping noted that to ensure the resilience and the stability of the global supply chain is the crucial point for global economic development. And he emphasized to deepen the international cooperation in this area through concrete actions by China. And this morning, Vice Premier He Lifeng spoke at the opening of this Expo and made the keynote speech underscoring China's resolve for high-level opening up. And he called for advancing international and supply chain cooperation and building an open global economy, echoing the strong call of the era. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, green and low-carbon development has become the trend of the times, and the world economy transformation is accelerating towards the direction of high efficiency, cleanliness, low carbon, diversification, etc. As per World Energy Investment Report of the International Energy Agency, it is estimated that $2.2 trillion will be invested in clean energy, such as renewable energies, nuclear energies, and etc. by 2025. In the past 5 years, the global investment in energy transformation has achieved unprecedented growth. This investment in the power sector, represented by PV, wind power, batteries, has far surpassed the traditional fossil fuel industry, and the world is about to enter a new electric era. And China is the largest clean energy market in the world and plays an important role in the global clean energy development. In 2024, the investment of scale clean energy in China reached 625 billion USD, accounting for 1/3 of the global amount and production and the scales volumes of the new energy vehicles and the PV and wind power installed capacity ranked first in the world for 10 consecutive years. China has built the largest and most complete new energy industrial chain in the world, further fostering the green development to a core strategic position. At the same time, China is also an important contributor to the global green transformation, promoting the Belt and Road Initiative clean energy industrial ecosystem, cooperating with more than 100 countries and regions in green energy projects, providing more than 80% of the PV modules and 70% of the wind power equipment to the world at large, and becoming a cornerstone and a stabilizer of the global clean energy production supply chain. This Expo specifically set up the clean energy supply chain exhibition era, aiming at helping low-carbon development, showing the full cycle industrial chain of the clean energy from supply to consumption, and showing the new technologies, new products, and the new trends of clean energy development. CNPC and CNOOC, ExxonMobil, Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, PetroChina are the leaders of the industry gathering together this afternoon. I hope all of us can make good use of the platform of Expo, expanding a closer global clean energy partnership, and jointly build a clean and a beautiful world in which all of the people and the nature coexist harmoniously. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, since the third plenary session of the 20th CPC of China, China has implemented various arrangements of the furthering, comprehensively deepening the reform and promoting China-style modernization, achieving positive results in high-level opening up, and accelerating the pace of green and low-carbon transformation. China will further promote the construction of the unified national market and create a world-class business environment. This will provide a broader market space for enterprises in various countries and bring more development opportunities for win-win cooperation. At the largest national trade and investment promotion organization in China, CCPIT, will continue to ease the dense network of the service enterprises, expand the circle of international friends, build a high-quality platform, bridge the gap for entrepreneurs from all countries to deepen the cooperation in clean energy industry supply chain, and contribute to expanding international cooperation in emerging fields. Finally, I wish this conference a great success. I wish all the guests good health and smooth work and all the best. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman Yu, for your excellent remark. Thank you for sharing your viewpoints regarding the cooperation and opportunities brought by cooperation between each other in clean energy. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite the General Economist of the National Energy Administration, Mr. Lu Junling, to deliver the speech. Please.
Let's welcome Mr. Lu Junling, General Economist of National Energy
让我们有请中国国家
Administration.
能源局总经理师鲁俊林先生上台致辞。Distinguished Vice Chairman Yu Jianlong, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon. I'm honored to attend the third China International Supply Chain Expo, the thematic event on clean energy, to discuss the clean energy development and seek a green, low-carbon future. On behalf of National Energy Administration, I'd like to extend the warm congratulations on the successful convening of the Expo. Also express the sincere thanks to all the Chinese and foreign friends for your long-term care and support for China's energy industry. This year concludes the 14th five-year plan of China. Over the past 5 years, we actively pursued the green development, and energy security was effectively guaranteed, and energy transition achieved remarkable results. And we also contributed to the stabilizing and global energy supply chain, and at the same time contributing to safeguarding the stability of the supply chain of the world in energy sectors with the Chinese contributions. First, energy security foundation has been strengthened. China's energy self-sufficiency rate remains above 80%, and with the growth continuously. In 2024, the total oil and gas production exceeded 400 million tons of oil equivalent for the first time, and power generation reached 10 trillion kWh. And diversified energy supply chain, including coal, oil, gas, nuclear, and renewables, is maturing, effectively meeting the energy demands of over 1.4 billion people. Second, clean and efficient energy production and supply system continuously improved. China built the world's largest and fastest growing renewable energy system. By the end of May this year, the total wind and solar power installed capacity surpassed thermal power for the first time, reaching 1.65 billion kilowatts. The major hydropower projects are progressed steadily, and integrated basin hydropower wind solar base advanced dramatically.
Nuclear under operation and under construction totaled about 125 million kilowatts, ranking #1 in the world. Thirdly, clean energy technology, innovation, and industry coordination have made new breakthrough. China has put in place the largest and the most comprehensive new energy industrial chain. Wind power and PV, a single installed capacity, and also the conversion efficiency of the PV components are leading in the world. About 80% of the PV components and 70% of the wind power key components are made in China. Hydropower, nuclear power has achieved a comprehensive industrial chain with the leading technology in the world. We have already mastered some advanced nuclear power technologies such as the Hualong 1, CAP 1400, as well as some other third-generation PWR and fourth-generation HTGR. Fourth, we have continuously improved energy governance and the rule of law system. The energy law of China was rolled out, and also the revision of the law of coal, law on power, and renewable energy have made active progress. The relevant supporting policies are rolled out continuously, greatly supported and standardized the development of distributed PV, pumped storage, a new type of energy storage, and hydrogen. Currently, the global energy landscape is experiencing in-depth adjustment. Green and low carbon, intelligent, and sustainability are the theme of our era. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you the following suggestions. First, based on energy safeguard, we need to further improve a capability to provide safe and reliable energy. Safe, reliable, and affordable energy supply is not only related to our overall economic and industrialization, and also closely related to the interest of every household. We need to continuously coordinate the development of new energy and conventional energy, and to facilitate the connection of the old and the new, and also to actively promote establishment of the diversified and renewable energy system. Secondly, we need to focus on green future and facilitate our transformation to clean and low carbon energy. Ecology first and green and low carbon development path is a reversible trend. to accelerate the development of clean energy and new technology, promote the technological cooperation exchanges regarding green hydrogen, advanced energy storage, new generation nuclear power, CCUS, and actively explore the cooperation opportunities of international clean energy projects and promote the trade cooperation in clean energy. Third, focus on intelligent and smart enablement of energy and build the intelligent and efficient new quality productivity of energy. Currently, the new round of science and technology and industrialization are going deeper with more and more growth momentum to accelerate the deep integration of modern ICT technology and energy sector and enhance the operational efficiency of the whole supply chain of the energy sector and promote the intelligent and digitalized transformation of the clean energy industry. Fourthly, to stick to open cooperation and enhance the global energy governance, to establish a fair, just, open, and inclusive energy market environment is very important guarantee for energy transformation and build the safe and highly efficient clean energy supply chain. It's very imperative to fully utilize bilateral and multilateral energy cooperation mechanism and strengthen coordination so as to seek sustainable paths of green energy development and guarantee the stable connectivity of the global energy supply chain. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, we're very much looking forward to your in-depth and frank discussions and to facilitate more cooperation so that we are going to enable a greener future and make a contribution to build a clean, low-carbon, safe, and efficient energy system. Finally, I'd like to wish today's event a complete success. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Lu from NEA. Thank you for your wonderful remarks. Now let's give the floor to Deputy Director General of the Planning and Development Bureau of the CISCE, Madam Hu Wujie.
Of the Planning and Development Bureau of the State-Owned Asset Supervision and Administration Division, or CISCE.
Distinguished Vice Chairperson Yu Jianlong and distinguished General Economist Lu Junling and also Dr. Hanafi and Mr. Baker Turov. I'm very happy to attend today's event and discuss the future of energy transformation. On behalf of the Planning and Development Bureau of CISCE, I'd like to extend congratulations on the convening of today's event. I also would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you who are very supportive of clean energy development in China as the National Expo themed at supply chain. And the CISCE offered very great platform for deeper cooperation in this area. Today's event have gathered the most advanced results of the clean energy development. It's not only a great window to demonstrate China's innovative practices and also great bond to forge consensus. I believe that the insights shared by all of you will inject more confidence and also strength in facilitating a cleaner future. Clean energy is a very important part of our economy and closely related to the national economy and society. And so is supported about 90% of the energy supply and 25% of the coal supply in facilitating energy revolution and building the new energy landscape. The SOEs have a very important responsibility. Recent years, we stick to ecology energy first, and green development as priority. And we also actively promote international cooperation with the international organizations and businesses, and to make active contribution to attain the dual carbon goal. We do know that energy transformation is not an opportunity and also responsibility for us. SOEs are willing to work with all of you to build the new low carbon green development and march towards a smarter and more sustainable future. Finally, I would like to wish today's forum a complete success. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Hu. Now, let's invite Secretary General of Union of Arab Chambers, Mr. Dr. Khalid Halafi.
Secretary General of the Union of Arab Chambers. 有请 Mr. Halafi. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and
女士们、
gentlemen,
先生
Your
们、各位，
Excellencies.
下午好！尊敬的各位来宾，
Energy sustainability
能源可持续
is
发
the
展
key word nowadays
是
in
当
the
前
whole
的
world,
全球所关注的关键词。
becoming more and more important
是的，现在
as mentioned by
它已经变得越来越重要。就像之前的发言嘉宾呢也提到了，我们现在呢在全球各地，我们都看到了这个重要的趋势。 因为呢，现在呢，二氧化碳的排放已经有这个400亿吨，我们所谈论的主题是非常重要的，也是意义深远的。当然了，现在世界大概已经有就是呢2万亿美元用于投资到可持续的这个能源发展，这是呢非常重要的，而且呢也得到了大家的重视。那么我们在阿拉伯世界，我们在很大的程度上，我们可以说也是肩负着可持续发展的未来，因为呢，我们也有一系列的项目是专注于创建可持续未来、可持续能源的发展未来。因为我们看到我们已经有了。 就是呢，是5 G 瓦的可再生能源，而且呢，我们认为在4年之后呢，这个数字呢会翻一番。此外呢，我也想跟大家提一下，就是呢，我们也有最大的全球最大的这个太阳能的项目。那么，这个项目呢，我们一共呢是有就是1亿美元的这个投入，那么它将会汇集埃及、摩洛哥等等，就是我们这些阿拉伯世界的一些国家。更不要提全球的，就是呢这个COP 的大会有2届，都是呢在阿拉伯国家所召开的。所以呢，我们也是对于打造可持续的未来非常感兴趣。此外呢，我要非常感谢贸促会，因为这是贸促会让我们可以呢与中国不断的增加合作。我们认为中国无论是的这个技术是非常领先的，而且呢，在这个清洁能源、可再生能源方面有着引领世界的技术，所以呢，我们也是很愿意，我们可以团结阿拉伯的国家一起加强与中国在这方面的合作，而且呢，我们阿拉伯国家的这个。是展开双手要去呢投入到可再生能源的这个发展当中，所以呢，我们非常感谢贸促会，我们能够来到我们的链博会，而且呢，我们也参加了。
Not just for the Arab countries, we are making transfer to Africa, to other Asian countries, and even in green hydrogen, we work with the European countries. So the investment in our region is open, especially through the private sector. We started many projects in solar energy, in wind, in EVs, green hydrogen, in many other areas. And we are ready to join forces more and more with China and with the private sector in China to work more and more to have green world, to have sustainable development. And I believe it's not by coincidence that when we talk about the third China International Supply Chain Expo, we are talking about energy and sustainable development, because we are keen for green supply chain. We need to work more on green supply chain and even in reverse supply chain. And we are very oriented to the circular economy. So we need to work together in economic terms, in business terms, in investment terms, to create this, to work on this. We understand that China is keen a lot in this, and we here to say that we are ready, we are keen to, and we need to collaborate. Thank you.
The great vision and also the great partnership, China and the Arab countries as well. Thank you so much. Next, shall we have? 让我们有请
So now let's give the floor to Governor of Astana International Financial Center, Mr. Rinat Bekturov.
Astana International Financial Center.
Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear participants of this amazing event. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to CCPIT for inviting me for this great event, and I am grateful to participate on the third edition of the China International Supply Chain Expo, and especially this thematic event on clean energy. Kazakhstan, the 9th largest country in the world and the largest economy in Central Asia, in recent years have been experiencing steady growth of its economy. And energy transition and supply of clean energy is one of the key elements of our future growth policy. With the economy growing, Kazakhstan has offered investors unprecedented conditions in Central Asia by creating Astana International Financial Center. AFC is a special jurisdiction that is based on the principles of common law that offers independent regulation of financial services according to the international standards, that offers its own independent dispute resolution institutions, therefore its court and arbitration center for the investors, favorable visa and tax regime, but also a developing capital market. Astana International Exchange was created in the partnership with the Shanghai Stock Exchange, Silk Road Fund, and NASDAQ, and is the fastest growing exchange in our part of the world. As I have mentioned, we believe that we as a forward-thinking institution have been working with our government from 2018 to promote green and sustainable finance, because in energy transition and developing more and clean energy, investments and the financing is very important. In 2020, the first ever green bonds in Central Asia were issued on our exchange. It was a very small offering of 2 million, but today in 5 years the market exceeds $2 billion of equivalence, including sustainable gender bonds, green bonds. We have created our own green finance center that is actually a leading verifier of green projects. It is accredited both by the International Association of Capital Markets and also by Clean Bonds Initiative. We are also a local or regional chapter for the green bonds initiatives under the BRI. So we believe that China, as the leading supply chain provider, and as was mentioned in the morning, a leading trading partner for more than 100 different countries, can leverage its position to promote clean energy and use of clean energy. We already see it in our country. There are 3 big 1 gigawatt wind energy projects being implemented in our country with the Mazda from UAE, with China Power International Holding from China, and with Total RN from France. And this is just the beginning. In 7 years that we have existed, Astana International Financial Center has became a home for more than 4,000 companies. And the number of companies last year jumped almost 30%. And I'm proud that almost 800 of more than 4,000 companies are from China. So we are home for local branches of such companies as China Construction Bank, CNPC Central Asia, China Development Bank, and many, many others. We invite all the participants to explore the opportunities that AEC offers, not just in clean energy, in finance, and in many other areas. We are the gateway for the companies from many countries to the Central Asia. Again, thanks for the invitation. I hope that I wish the Expo to be successful, for the discussions to be fruitful, and Kazakhstan is open for business and open for exchange of ideas. Thank you.
也是非常开放的合作的空间。谢谢。
Bakturov, Governor of Astana International Financial Center, for the latest green messages coming from Central Asia. A trip earlier to your country and Central Asia certainly give us a very first-hand look of the green development there. And congratulations to the International Financial Center of Astana. Congratulations. 那么我们的5位
So this 5 opening sessions, speakers has finished their opening remark, laying very solid foundation for this afternoon's discussion, setting a fit on the future discussion in this afternoon. So we will move to the keynote speech session. Let's give a warm applause to these 5 speakers for the opening ceremony. So clean supply chain restructuring need to have a lot of expertise and strategies to be made. So we'll move to the keynote speech session to discuss and explore the ideas and viewpoints from the key energy players. First of all, I'd like to invite the heads of the CNPC to deliver the speech. Please. We'll invite the member of the board of directors of Dongfang Electric Group. Thank you. Distinguished Vice Chairman Yu and Chief Economist Lu, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Amidst the summer in Beijing, everything is beautiful and booming. It's a great honor for me to meet you at the 3rd China International Supply Chain Expo. On behalf of China Dongfang, I'd like to extend my warm congratulations on the convening of this event and express my heartfelt thanks to the friends from all walks of life who have long cared for and supported the development of Dongfang. Climate change is a common challenge faced by all mankind. Green and low carbon is a common sense reached by international community. At present, the global energy transition is accelerating. The energy low carbon system development model are undergoing a profound changes in green and low carbon paradigm. The demand for clean energy and green technologies in various countries and regions is more than urgent. President Xi Jinping pointed out that green transition is the only way to deal with climate changes and a new engine for economic and social development. Along the direction guided by President Xi, how to promote the realization of the Sustainable Development Goals with a cleaner and a more efficient energy supply, more resilient industrial chain, and a more open cooperation attitude is an epoch proposition that everyone must answer together. As an important participant and a leader in the global energy equipment, Dongfang addresses to the concept of green and low carbon development, systematically promotes the whole industrial chain, supply chain, and a full cycle green transition layout of green energy and a low carbon development that has achieved positive results in helping global sustainable development. First, we lead the green transition of industrial structure with the mission at our heart. To cope with the climate crisis, it is necessary to promote the energy system to be low carbon and green. As the main force of the change, enterprises in the energy sector should not only accelerate their own transition, but also promote the coordinated upgrading of the industrial chain and form a strong synergy to promote green development. Dongfang always takes green power, driving the future as our responsibility, and it has built a 4-in-1 green development system of strategy, innovation, production, ecology, breaking through the near zero emission technology in the traditional energy field, opening up the technological frontier in clean energy truck, and building a technological highland in the future energy system, and constantly pushing in the industrial chain to higher end, smarter and greener. We focus on the needs of the building of the new energy system and forms a development pattern of 4 electricity and 6 industries, accelerating the construction of the clean energy equipment production capacity around the implementation of the double carbon goal, and focusing on wind, solar, hydrogen storage, power electronics, and other fields, accelerating the development and expansion of the strategic emerging industries and exploring demonstration application projects such as electrochemical energy storage, compressed air energy storage, and molten salt storage. And we use our own industrial structure transformation to drive the upstream and downstream enterprises in the industrial chain to accelerate the green transition and upgrading. Second, building a strong clean energy supply chain with the technological innovation. Energy equipments and machinery are the core engine of the global energy transition, and its technical level directly determines the speed and quality of the transition. Only by breaking through core technologies can we build a safer, resilient, efficient, and a low-carbon global energy supply chain and provide countries with more adaptable zero-carbon solutions. Dongfang focuses on core technologies and builds clean energy equipment supply chain system, strongly supporting global energy green and low-carbon transition. For example, Baihetan hydropower station set a hydropower equipment world benchmark. And we have the self-developed 50 megawatt heavy-duty gas turbine, which has been running stably over 9,000 hours in 2 demonstration projects. And we also have the world's largest 26 megawatt offshore wind turbine that had been completed the full condition grid-connected tests. And we have the world's largest 5 MW chemical chain combustion system, cutting the carbon capture cost by 2/3. And we have our 12,000-meter deep well intelligent drilling rig breaking through the high rotation speed and 1 key linkage technologies. These technologies suit China's energy structure and meet the different countries' energy endowment needs, offering diverse options for a global energy transition. Third, building a low-carbon and efficient manufacturing system with green intelligence. The green production is the key link of the source emission reduction in the energy equipment industry chain. Only when the manufacturing process is low carbon can energy equipment truly have the zero carbon property in the whole life cycle. Dongfang vigorously implements the Green Factory Development Project, builds an industry-leading low-carbon manufacturing system, improving the energy resource utilization efficiency and clean production level. Right now, the whole group has built 28 core manufacturing digital workshops and 2 national-level intelligent manufacturing demonstration factories, and the second-level manufacturing enterprises have basically achieved a full coverage of provincial-level green factories. 4 enterprises have been awarded by national-level green factories title and will continue empower industrial clusters and upstreams and downstream enterprises in supply chain with experience and technology transform the Dongfang standard into the industrial standards, integrating green genes into every link of the industrial chain and providing strong support for optimization and reshaping of the clean energy supply chain. Fourth, building a zero-carbon density community through open cooperation to cope with the climate change. Countries need to uphold the concept of cooperation, construction together, and sharing together, deepen international cooperation, and make green power cross national boundaries and benefit the whole world. Dongfang actively participates in BRI and forms a close alliance with upstream and downstream customers and vendors to bring China's clean energy technologies and solutions to the world, actively empowering downstream partners as well and successfully driving more than 17,000 suppliers to sail out to the sea. And we're optimizing global resource allocation, efficiently cooperating with nearly 1,000 high-quality overseas suppliers and promoting global green transition for all. Up to now, more than 100 million kilowatts of the power generation equipment and more than 620 sets of the oil and gas drilling and production equipment have been provided to more than 110 countries and regions, which have become a green energy bridge connecting efficient utilizations and effectively promoting the construction of the global green energy system. Dear colleagues and friends, the horn of the global energy transmission has been sounded, and Dongfang will continue to incubate new technologies, continuously split new industries, and provide more green low-carbon energy equipment.
Let's work together with clean energy as a bond and have a strong faith in building the community with shared future for all. And lastly, I would like to wish this event complete success. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Zhang Shaofeng, for sharing with us very successful practices and also brought us a very outstanding cases of energy transformation. Now let's give the floor to Vice President of Sinopec Group, Wan Tao, to deliver a speech. Distinguished leaders, dear colleagues, good afternoon. I'm very happy to present the thematic event of clean energy at the third CISCE. My topic is actively build clean energy industrial chain and supply chain and work together towards a green and low carbon future. President Xi emphasized multiple times that to accelerate the transformation towards a green and low-carbon economy is an irrevocable trend. And also the clean energy industry is booming. Recently, Sinopec focused on dual carbon goal and actively developed natural gas, hydrogen, thermal power, biological and aviation coal, etc., to build a safer, more resilient, sustainable clean energy industrial chain and supply chains as to better serve a beautiful China and a clean and beautiful world. We strengthened the demonstration and leadership role and to work hard as pioneers in developing clean energy. In natural gas, we already built the China examples of the world shale gas development. the shale gas field in the Yangtze River economic belt has supplied about clean energy to over 70 cities. In terms of hydrogen, we developed a green hydrogen refinery and transport businesses and built the first hydrogen company in China, while the hydrogen from the west to the east and pipeline demonstration project has been incorporated into national plan. And also we already built the 7 hydrogen corridors that connecting Beijing, Shanghai, Chengdu, Tianjin, etc. And in August of 2023, we already completed the 20,000 tons of green electricity from green hydrogen demonstration project. This is the first biggest PV power generation directly to generate green hydrogen, and we already make breakthrough on a lot of difficulties, including the large-scale flexible hydrogen generation and stable hydrogen refineries, as well as a whole set of hydrogen industrialization innovations based on the refineries advantages, as well as our wide network of refilling stations. We already completed 11 hydrogen fuel and hydrogen supply center, as well as 144 hydrogen refilling stations, with the biggest one in the world. And in terms of thermal power, we already organized the 7th Global Thermal Power Conference and also supplied over 120 million square meters of heating. And in Hainan, we already built the deepest thermal well, accelerating our exploration to deeply utilize thermal energy. In terms of the biological aviation coal, we have our independent IP as well as pilot demonstration devices. Last June, our bio-aviation coal was used in our national aircraft. We have strengthened our coordination with the partners in the upstream and downstream to facilitate commercialization of clean energy. And also we signed the hydrogen cooperation agreement with over 50 companies, and also established innovation alliances with over 32 SOEs and private companies to facilitate development of hydrogen. With the concerted efforts of the industrial chain, compared with the level in 2020, China's hydrogen battery and stack system and hydrogen refilling stations core devices has witnessed the 50% of its price, while the electrolyte stack has also more than 100 suppliers, and the technology has iterated with the production cost reduced by about 30%. We have also accelerated development of professional trade service platforms such as Sinopec e-trading with our special Internet Plus ecosystem. And we also led the innovation of collecting the players down along the industrial chain so that we can move and shift towards a higher end of the value chain. And besides, the value of our brand of the e-bike has surpassed over 10 billion RMB, and it's been identified as the e-commerce platform of industrial commodities serving the BRICS. And also we are able to enable the clients in the clean energy supply chain and become the biggest and most influential e-commerce platform of the commodity petrochemical products. We have been fully aware that to widely use clean energy is the reversible trend and also is the future. So to strengthen cooperation in this area and cultivate new quality productivity is very significant. We are more than willing to work together with partners and to have a supplementary cooperation and assemble factors and enhance the resilience of the energy supply chain and the industrial chain, as well as the energy safety. Firstly, we will continuously deepen industrial cooperation and deeply explore the potentials of natural gas, hydrogen, thermal power, bioaviation, coal, and to implement the cooperation projects that have best cost effectiveness, demonstration effects, and region range, and consolidate the base of clean energy. Secondly, deepen our technology cooperation. We will stick to open innovation and conduct exchanges cooperation with well-renowned energy and petrochemical companies, device producers, SMEs, and strengthen technology talent, standards, and devices cooperation, and strengthen integrated development of exploration and new energy development, as well as low-cost green hydrogen production and application. And we will continuously deepen trade cooperation. Recently, we worked together with Total Company and side agreement so as to build the booming clean energy chain. In the future, we will deepen our cooperation with natural gas resource companies, oil and natural gas companies to facilitate the sound development of the natural gas. We will further leverage the platforms of ePike and Sinopec e-trading, etc., to build more professional platforms of demonstration, service, support, and trade facilitation, so as to facilitate clean energy trading to develop at scale and at a high quality level. Finally, I would like to wish this event a complete success. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Wang from Sinopec. Thank you so much for your wonderful remarks, because we were able to understand the advantages and the scales and the partnership of Sinopec. In particular, you mentioned that as the leader of the hydrogen chain. Thank you again. Now let's give the floor to Vice President of CNOOC, Mr. Wang Jianbo, to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Wang Jianbo, Vice President of the China National Offshore Oil.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm very honored to be invited to the third CISCE and discuss the international cooperation and future development of the supply chain. After 3 years, CISCE has already become the very important platform for the players in the global supply chain to exchange views and seek cooperation. CNOOC attaches great importance to cooperation in the global supply chain. We are willing to working together with global partners to see common progress and address challenges together, and to make our due contribution to guarantee the resilience and the stability of the global energy supply chain. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you some of my ideas regarding the theme of building resilient, green, and universally beneficial global energy supply chain. Firstly, oil and gas industry is very international. To strengthen international cooperation is the necessary path for the prosperity of the global energy industry. CNOOC, as China's first maritime special zone, and also the special industrial sector that has achieved comprehensive openness. Its birth and growth witnessed the development of globalization. Recently, despite the profound and complicated changes in the macro environment and external environment, CNOOC has remained open and inclusive cooperation. We have been actively integrated into BRI. Our overseas businesses covered about 40 countries and regions in the world, and we have already built an energy cooperation network that has been very inclusive. As China's biggest and also the world's second biggest LNG importer, we have the energy network covering 30 countries and regions in the world, so as to make sure the flexibility and the reliability of natural gas supply. And we also made a contribution to the connectivity and the circulation of the energy international trade. Secondly, our industry is undergoing profound transformation, and science and technology innovation to enable more value improvement of the supply chain is the solution for us to withstand the complexities in the environment. Currently, the new round of science technology revolution and industrial transformation are surging. The global energy sector is accelerating its transformation towards smart and green development. CNOOC actively respond to the trend and promoted the science and technology innovation project, the Deep Sea #1, the super deep water field gas development projects. Key technology has won the first award of the National Science and Technology Progress, while the Asian's first FPSO has already facilitated the first secondary development of the deep sea and actively promoted revitalization of the deep water oil and gas storage. And you are able to see the models of such projects at our booth. Meanwhile, over the past 4 years, our energy density and carbon emission density reduced by about 20.2% and 70.6%. And we were rewarded as the first pioneers in the carbon peak of China's industry. Thirdly, oil and gas industry faced with both opportunities and challenges in the energy landscape reshaping. To seek high quality and sustainable development is the important strategy, and centering the development of the new quality productivity. Considering all the different factors, the future energy transformation will focus on the low carbon development of fossil fuel and the scaled development of clean energy and electrification of the energy at the terminals. And CNOOC actively responded to the new trend of the era and make the great efforts in upgrading traditional industry, grow strategic and emerging industry, and cultivating future industry. We accelerated our development of new quality productivity of the ocean energy. The first double 100 deep sea floated wind power demonstration project has been successfully launched to the grid in the Wenchang oil field of South Sea, and the first CCUS project already started its production in Enping.
The first phase expansion of the project has been deployed, and as well, the second phase of the Zhuhai LNG project has been completed, and the projects such as the third phase ethylene and polycarbonate initiatives and the CNOOC Shell Guizhou complex has been completed, and as well, the manufacturing base has officially commenced operations, achieving an operation rate of 70% offshore platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, against the background of the transitioning of the energy sectors in the world, we can see the integration of the supply chain and industrial chain will be trendy, and we will do our best to integrate this cooperation with all sectors, and we will uphold the principles of mutual benefit and common win, together with the global partners in exploration of the oil and gas and other resources. In terms of the construction and design of the machines and equipment and LG whole supply industrial chain upper end development and petrochemicals new materials development will join hands together for further cooperation, and will accelerate the green low carbon transition, dramatically develop the offshore wind power, and also forward-lookingly develop the hydropower and hydrogen powers and the green methanols, CCUS sectors, and to provide the new energy systems with the higher efficiency and safety. And we will do our best to contribute more values, relying on the international platforms such as this Expo, with the upstream downstream enterprises to deepen the exploration of technologies, talents, and capital, as well as data. Joining hands to create the values on the whole for the whole supply chain, industrial chain. Ladies and gentlemen, to good dear friends, the international overseas oil and gas development will not be separate from the support participation of the global partners, and we will provide a broader space for cooperation with all the partners together so that we can sail the sea together and then navigate across uncharted water for a high quality and synergized development for the world. At last, I wish all of you fit, and I wish this Expo a great success. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wang from CNOOC, for sharing. Congratulations to the achievements of CNOOC, the 3 great achievements, and for your dedication and sincere efforts with international partners. And I'd like to invite Vice President Jiang Changliang from the China Oil and Gas Pipeline Network Corporation.
Vice President of China Oil and Gas Pipeline Network.
Okay, he is still not here. With that, I'd like to invite the next one. I'd like to invite Deputy General Manager of China Energy Conservation and Environmental Protection Group, Wu Naiming.
General Manager of China Energy Conservation and Environmental Protection Group, 刘许福先生。
Distinguished leaders, guests, good afternoon. It's a great honor to attend the Clean Energy event this afternoon session for the 3rd China International Supply Chain Expo. And on behalf of China Energy Conservation, I'd like to congratulate for this event and share with you my thoughts. And trusted by our chairman, I'd like to wish this event a great success. Next, I'd like to share with you 3 important insights based on our company's practice. First, we have to bear in mind the missions and to accelerate the building of the new energy system. President Xi Jinping stated, building a clean, low-carbon, safe, and efficient energy system is the key for China's energy revolution. In recent years, renewable energies in China has surpassed coal, fire power in storage capacity in our country. And the solar and wind power industries are the global leaders, and in this afternoon discussion, some leaders previously has highlighted this importance as well. And it has laid a solid foundation for the green and low-carbon transition for the energy structures and national energy security. So we must embrace our mission and boost the clean energy industry, optimizing the clean energy supply chain to drive the comprehensive green transition of the economy and society. And second, practice the responsibility of the central enterprises to serve the green, low-carbon, sustainable development of the society and economy. Our company, as an early player in China's clean energy sector, always been balancing clean energy development with energy conservation and emission reduction to boost efficiency. And our major mission not only focus on the energy conservation and emission reduction, as well as the environmental protection. And we focus on the efficiency enhancement of the energy conservation. We own China's first listed companies that focused on wind power and solar power with PV manufacturing. And we have built the key projects with the first 1 million kilowatt and 10 million kilowatt wind power bases, and a desert solar PV station, and a solar PV building integration demo project, and so on and so forth, contributing to the national clean energy and a beautiful China goals. In terms of energy saving services, we cover industrial and building energy conservation, green buildings, and etc. As well, in Xiong'an new area, We created the Citizen Service Center project, achieving 80% of the energy utilization rate and 74% of the renewable energy substitution. It also built the Hangzhou Green Building Science and Technology Museum in Yangtze River Delta region, the first one in China to get the triple top certifications, 100% carbon reduction. And in this expo, we took advantage of the main business of energy conservation, environmental protection, and carefully combined 8 industrial chains together, including offshore wind, power plus, digital intelligent green energy chain, PV plus, and control plus, alkali control plus, smart agriculture plus cultural tourism chain, and underground river water, urban sewage extraction, energy plus, cooling and heating people's livelihood chain. And the third one is to seek the future of green and low carbon features and promoting the high-quality development. And we will focus on the clean energy industry, and we would also combine our thinking to propose the 3 suggestions. First one is to strengthen the clean energy supply chain by eliminating upstream, downstream bottlenecks, optimizing collaboration models, enhancing resilience of the entire supply chain to support the green, low-carbon, sustainable development of the energy and for the society and the economy. And second, to drive the technical innovations in the clean energy field through increased enterprise collaboration on advanced technologies like the energy storage, hydrogen energies, energy conservation, and so on and so forth. And this will accelerate the breakthroughs in key areas of the clean energy supply chain and foster the new green energy production forces. And the third one is to promote the construction of the beautiful China and a beautiful world by strengthening industrial coordination, focusing on clean energy-rich regions and neighboring countries, developing more high-quality demonstration projects, and advancing the green Belt and Road Initiative to build a cleaner, more beautiful world. Leaders and guests, ladies and gentlemen, the optimization and reshaping of the clean energy supply chain is the only way to achieve the goal of carbon neutrality in peak carbon dioxide emissions, and it's also an important support for building a community of the shared future. We are willing to go hand in hand with all walks of life, with innovations as a pen and cooperation as a link, and jointly join a new chapter of China's modernization in which man and nature can coexist harmoniously. Finally, I'd like to wish this event a great success. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hu Naimin, for sharing, and congratulations to the achievements on the 3 chains. And thank you very much to join hands with us to create the beautiful future. Next, I'd like to invite the President of Shandong Energy Group Co. Limited, Mr. Li Wei, to deliver the speech. Distinguished Vice Chairman Yu and Mr. Lu, leaders, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good afternoon. I'm honored to speak at this event, and today we are grateful to have all the leaders and friends who have long supported Shandong Energy Group to talk about the viewpoints and how to optimize and shape the energy supply chain for the greener paradigms. So I'd like to extend the warmest and sincere gratitude to all the leaders and friends for your support. Shandong Energy Group has been a very important pillar of the energy sector in Shandong province. It is featuring the coal and these high-end energies, and also we use the trade as the connections and the mineral resources as the base, as the foundations for the 3+1, and to reach 22 provinces and to radiate more than dozens of the countries in this region. So I'd like to touch upon the several viewpoints with regard to this topic. First, green and low carbon is the topic of the world, and energy transition is the must. Against the current situation of climate change, energy sector's innovations intertwined with the business environment. Now we are reshaping and reviewing the energy and also the energy securities to accelerate the energy security and energy transition. President Xi Jinping has emphasized that energy transition is not simply the mean reduction coal output and consumption, but promoting its clean, low carbon, diversified, and efficient use and transportation and transformation. And this is actually a very important requirement for the transition. And that is also the new requirement for the new growth. And the low carbon sectors and technologies and capacity will become the core competitiveness of the countries. So to complete the circular economy systems of the low carbon development would lay the solid foundation and is a must for all sectors to cope with. And it is also a great opportunity for all. Now in the world, we can see the new revolution is underway for the energy transitions. So the new energies development in the larger scale and the new materials development, as well as the carbon pooling technologies, has scored new breakthroughs. So all the energy companies of the world has been provided with strategic opportunities at this moment. It is the need of the times to promote the energy systems featuring the fossil fuels, transhifted to the new energies, being more intelligent and smarter and more resilient. It is not only an opportunity and a substitution of the technologies, it is also the synchronization of the different sectors. And we have to reach consensus on the future direction of the transformation. And we have to seize the opportunity at the higher land to compete and to beat all the competitors. And second, clean energies are the major battlefields of the energy sectors. And energies alone can not satisfy the need of the country. The world is always changing, the history is always changing, and we can see the changes unprecedented. So the new energy sector is faced with a lot of challenges. And from the international external environment in 2020, the clean energies account for 49% of the total, requiring that we must enter into the new era of the energy transformation. And the different countries would set up even more stringent goals of the emission reduction, which provides the broader market environment. And with the stability of the different policies of the countries, as well as the competitiveness and consumption situation of the new energies, the countries poses different situations.
Fifth, and EC2 carbon goals, the domestic and new energy system is accelerating, and also the fossil fuel has already transformed from the main energy source and to the guarantee and supplementary energy source. In 2025, China's energy market has demonstrated the features that the traditional energy is decreasing, and also witnessed the shortage of demand in the downstream areas, and the coal industry have entered the winter. So for the first 6 months, the coke production was about 2.4, increased by about 54%, historical high. However, the loss coverage of the coal companies were about 35%. And we also support the energy demand, and green transformation is reshaping our industry. Said to accelerate the energy transformation is very important. Energy companies have a lot to play, only while maintaining the open cooperation in the global industrial chain and supply chain can one achieve win-win progress. And this event has built a very great platform for the connectivity and prosperity. Shandong Energy Group will use this platform as a great opportunity to accelerate the cooperation and develop internationalization and facilitate the globalization of capital, talent, etc., so that the energy can be greener, smarter, and also we are going to pursue the low carbon and energy transformation of our company and make our contribution to the efficient and green development of the coal industry. We do know that this industry is very important, and also it's a base to guarantee energy security and facilitate green and energy development is our responsibility. We have about 84 coal mines, while we already had 8 M&As in Australia. Our capacity is over about 80 million. We also stick to green development of coal. We have also developed some green exploration models, which is very exemplary in the whole industry, and we achieved both ecological protection and economic development. And we are also march towards a new phase of industrialization, and we already about 150 exploration centers, and now we're accelerating transformation and actively phase out some coal mines that have a low capacity and low efficiency. For the next step, we wish to step up our cooperation with companies home and abroad to facilitate green development of coals and also pursue low carbon development, accelerate intelligent development and digitalization, and work with the world-class tech companies so as to accelerate application of new technologies such as AI, big data. And we're also going to use the smart and highly efficient devices and to build green coal mines and also build the green mine operation models. And we are going to strengthen the efficient coordination and synergy of the industrial chain so that coal will serve as the fundamental guarantee of energy security. We are also going to facilitate the green development of the petrochemical industry because it's a very important path to facilitate highly efficient clean development of coals. We already have the national key lab of the coal to gas and highly efficient low carbon utilization, as well as large-scale coal gasification and the new material national engineering research center. We also have the world's first set of demonstration devices of 3,000 tons of OMB, etc. For the next step, we are going to strengthen our cooperation with research institutions so that we are going to implement our core strategies. And we are going to facilitate coal to develop from the fuel and to the fixed carbon and build a low carbon, circular, highly efficient modern industrial system. We are also going to promote the renewable energy to be more of a low carbon development because it's a main part of energy transformation. And the installed capacity of new energy already reached historical high. Our group focused on the wind power, PV, energy storage and development, some offshore wind power as well as the PV project. We have also built the solar power demonstration project. For the next step, we will prioritize the development of PV and the solar power industry and work together with prestigious companies home and abroad. And we will use both M&A and in-house development and form an industrial synergy so that renewable energy will be the new source of our new growth. We will actively engage in the nuclear power projects. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, green evolution of energy is closely related to the future of mankind. Our group will stick to open cooperation and win-win progress and to work together with you to reshape the clean energy supply chain so that we are going to create a greener future. Finally, I'd like to wish today's event a complete success. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Li Wei from Shandong Energy Group. Thank you for sharing with us the opportunities and the challenges of clean energy. You mentioned the green development of coal industry really impressed us. While we are preparing for the stage, I'm going to brief you the very important two parts of our event. Just now, you already listened to the remarks of the decision makers and the representatives of business and chambers and associations. They shared with us their keynote speeches. And now we will have two panel discussions. And the first one is about chasing innovation and green development for the future opportunities and challenges in the energy industry. And the second panel discussion is about the four chains, including the innovation chain, industrial chain, capital chain, and talent chains as to facilitate energy transition. While in these two panel discussions, we are going to have the panelists who are from the companies and research institutions and international organizations. In the keynote speech session, a lot of speakers mentioned very important phenomena in energy transition. In the global energy revolution, we have encountered two important transformations. One is about the changes of national policy and global political landscape. The second one is about the technology transformation and the breakthroughs in the industry. What would be the impact of such changes? And what would be the green development of the supply chain? So now let's invite the panelists for the first panel discussion. Let's warmly welcome President of Changjiang Electrical Engineering Group, Chen Youan. And also, let's welcome Kuzi Sam, Vice Chairman of ExxonMobil Investment Company, and Vice President Xu Zhonghua from Total Energies China, and also Zhang Hao, expert on environment and climate investment and technology promotion office of Beijing.
Let's welcome all our panelists, and you can find your photo.
好，那么我们来有请各位参加本轮研讨会的嘉宾上台。Thank you again for joining us. Okay, so please make sure that you have your microphone, and if you need simultaneous interpretation, please use the headset. Thank you. So our panelists will going to speak both in Chinese and English. So I'm going to host in both Chinese and English. For the first part, we only have about 45 minutes. So for all of you, you only have about 10 minutes. So now let's dive into the main topic without further ado. And so the topic is about chasing innovation and green development for the future opportunities and challenges in the energy industry. Just now, the previous speakers already mentioned some new philosophies, ideas, and changes in the energy sector. There are so many different changes and transformations. So what will be the impact for your own business, and what's your biggest consideration? So would you please brief us? So our audience will have a clear clue. Thank you. Maybe Mr. Chen first. Distinguished panelists and moderator. I'm Chen Youan. I'm from Hubei, Changjiang Electrical Engineering Company. And our company is focused on the energy management and the energy device manufacturing, etc. Would you please say a few words regarding the new challenges? Okay, so from our perspective, as in the industry, we mainly produce devices, energy management, and also smart energy construction, as well as the supply chain. expansion. That's how a very important segment of our company. 好的，那下面呢，让我们邀请顾子珊，我想问一下您觉得就是呢，考虑到刚才呢，其实已经提到了如此多的这些观点。那么我们最大的挑战是什么？非常感谢田薇女士，也非常感谢贸促会女士们、先生们，大家下午好。在
industry for more than 140 years. And we've been in China since 1892. And the challenges remain pretty similar. 4 billion people in the world today are living below energy poverty. And then by 2050, you have up to 2 more billion people. And in order to bring people out of extreme poverty and to provide people with good quality of life, you need reliable energy. Not so long ago, what happened in Spain and Portugal, in Colombia, the blackout due to drought and all this, basically is giving us the reminder that reliability of energy is critical. And in ExxonMobil itself, we also believe that we can reduce emission at the same time. And we call that the N equation, which means that we have collectively, including ExxonMobil, we need to increase the energy supply and at the same time reduce emission. And that, to me, is the biggest challenge, but also the biggest opportunity for all of us.
And how are you doing it?
So we are doing it in multiple ways. A couple of years ago, we formed a new company called Low Carbon Solution. And in low carbon solution, there are a few technology that is already around, but how do we scale it up so that we can apply it to the world? One of them is carbon capture and storage. And today, ExxonMobil is already the largest carbon capture storage provider in the world. United States, we basically own the longest and the largest pipeline to transport CO2. And we have already signed up 8.7 million tons that we're going to capture CO2 for the customers. So therefore, this is just one of the many technologies that we're talking about. We, for the next 5 years, will be spending $30 billion, and 65% of that is to assist other companies to reduce their emissions.
San, thank you so much for that update. It's very helpful. Let's go to Total. Of course, it's one of the well-known pioneer in some of the latest clean energy development. What do you think, after working it for years, where is the current stage of challenge? And as a result, what is the way to adjust?
Okay, thank you very much. 谢谢田老师。
Thank you so much.
First of all, energy sector up to now, like ExxonMobil's has mentioned that challenge number one is that we must satisfy the needs for the livelihood of the people and ever-growing demand for the economic development. And that has to be efficient. And second, we have to cope with the climate change. And Total is one of the best in this regard, and we are doing two things together. The first one is that we will demonstrate and practicing more safer and energy efficient programs, especially the coal chemicals. And second, we will develop the integrated power development and power sector power project. And it is our plan that before 2030, we will invest it in $60 billion USD to support the capacity to reach 200 gigawatts. And talking about other challenges, it's fair to say that clean energies, fundamentally speaking, renewable energies or new energies is different from the oil and gas, because oil and gas is the disposables every day and is consumables every day. And the market already got the balance. But when it comes to the clean energies and the new energies, it is actually the supplementary ones, so be it the PV, solar powers, and wind powers, or the hydropower, and etc. All the countries and all the regions and all the remote areas can participate. So we can see the generations can be reshifted very fast. And the core issue is how to lower the cost. And the clean energies, in the end, boil down to the intrinsic of all the attributes of the energies themselves to the oil and gas. But the new energies is with the features of low carbon, but very unluckily, we didn't demonstrate and elaborate the environmental protectionism into the commercial mode of the new energy sector. That is why it is highly difficult. And we are in the transition period, and our name has been renamed from Total to Total Energy. So even the logo has been changed from the original very solemnly looked one to one with the different colors. But that is not because we are from France. We are very romantic. That is not the reason. But because we want to respect the professionalism in our expertise, at the same time want to diverse different elements. For example, offshore wind power, we would have very good chemicals expertise, so we emphasize the electric power, and we would also develop some other elements and add more elements into our pipeline. And that's very time-consuming, but still we have to find the way out, and we have to face these challenges with our square eyes. Thank you very much. In the first round of the discussion for your solutions, just setting a stage for the future discussion. And Mr. Jiang, talking about the Global South, we believe that ITPO is a very important organization, so please shed light on the viewpoints on the current challenges that you have viewed in the current stage, and from the perspectives of the Global South or developing countries. Thank you. Just one line to introduce my organization, and this is the Investment and Technology Promotion Office in Beijing. It was established in 1990 by its name. It is supposed to promote and to transfer the technologies. We want to introduce the technologies from the West to China and vice versa to the developing countries and feedback the developed countries as well. So talking about these new technologies or new technologies to the developing countries, I've been dedicated on the development for developing countries for a long time. And for the new policies, new technologies, and new goals, of course, in the developing countries like African countries or the less developed countries, they are faced with all kinds of challenges. And now the biggest challenge, in fact, is not the technologies themselves or the policies. It is the fact that the huge number of the iterations and the generations of the technologies pull into this market, and a lot of policies and different generations of technologies are intertwined together, which is challenging the livelihood of the people. I can give you one example, like the three stones put together and put on the wood to fire. That would be very hazardous to the environment, to the health. So we use the method of the coal credit in developing countries, like we can provide the free of charge tools or clean tools to them, or cooking tools to them, benefiting thousands of the households right now. And now many African countries, they are having the liquid LNG or gas, and that is very challenging to them to use. They just want to use the most economical tool to fuel up their life. That is the biggest challenge that we're faced with right now. But how can we cope with this? I've been working for the government, for the private company, and for the NGO. And I believe that we have to find the most common aggregates together that can be shared by all. And the original mission for all is to better off the life of the people. And we have to seize this original mission. That is my suggestion. Thank you. Yes, we can see that on the stage, the guests here, and they are talking from the different perspectives from their businesses and their sectors, I believe, from which we can dive in more dialogue. And we also have invited Chen Youan. And Mr. Chen Youan, leave a lot of time for us. You are so modest and humble. please talk more about the challenges faced by the enterprises right now. Thank you. Yeah, the VIPs at present and our anchor, the beautiful lady. And right now, the core challenge, and I believe the biggest challenge is the fast development of the technologies and also the dynamic balance between the environment, the emissions, as well as the economic development. So the dual carbon goals versus the economic goals, whether the technologies can speed up the innovations or the otherwise. I just want to talk about that one, lithium batteries, and as well as the transformation of technologies promoting the generational development of the batteries would require a huge and mass number of the investment. And we would need the political will, and also we need to look at the market stabilization, and also we have to look at the dynamics from the market, and also the changes of the subsidies, policies, and so on and so forth. And I believe that we must control the cost so as to maintain the competitiveness in the market. And the low input and the high output is actually the contradictory with each other, and this is the biggest challenge in the market, as I can see. And in this regard, our company has proposed some strategies and some measures to improve the efficiency as well as balancing the different elements of the production. In terms of technologies that have formulated a paradigms and platforms of innovations for the technologies, as well as the scenarios for the market practices and the systems which are complementary with each other to support the domestic and international partners, or research forces and universities to combine together very closely so that we can offer the synergized platforms for new energies and the substations of the power. And now we have built up some projects like the direct current, new energies, the smart equipments, and a diversified deployment of the energy sectors to support new energies development in the future. In terms of the application side, we developed the zero carbon smart park as a demonstration to verify the feasibility of the technologies. Last week, NDRC, MIT, and the National Energy Administration has launched the notice on the development of the zero-carbon industrial park, from the concept all the way to the practices and implementation of the measures. In 2024, May, and our company has taken the leading position in developing this park. Through this park, together with the charging pole and the solar systems, we complete the whole cycle of the low-carbon, zero-carbon parks development. Yes, thank you very much. You are so eloquent on this zero-carbon park. And currently, there are numerous innovations currently roaming around in terms of the innovations and investment and so on and so forth. So let's talk about technologies first and foremost. You've been talking about technologies already, so I'd like to pose a question to Mr. Xu from Total Energy. New technologies are numerous, from technologies all the way to the production area or the supply chain. What is the delta of the time and how to reduce the time delta? Please shed light on this topic. Thank you. In fact, in the past, before this year, for more than 20 years of the career, I was working in Asia-Pacific region. You are the right person to answer the question. Yes. So I'd like to share with you, Total Energy core business, and 90% plus of them are in oil and gas. But today, in France, we didn't produce any oil at all. And our core competitiveness is coming from our innovation. And for many years, we've been ranked as one of the top innovative companies in energy sectors, and that is due to our cumulative foundation for a very fit operation in so many years. And also, Ms. Tian, you mentioned, talking about the innovations, there are different dimensions of innovations, and we have to control the cost, and we have to be able to lift the efficiencies, and we have to add values. These are all the dimensions of the innovations, and especially the innovation in the new energy sectors, which is totally different versus that in oil and gas, because the speed of the technologies from the research development all the way to the mass production and the commercialization so fast, so efficient, and we can see the new energy is developing so fast and crazily fast. And when we reflect this road map, it is not due to the disruptive technologies, but due to the technologies innovations in the engineering sectors and lowering the cost. So I think how to consolidate the efficiency of the innovations and how to fix the values created by innovation is the core issue here. I can see some major innovations present here, and we need more and more collaborations. Like the AI is viral right now, but to the private sectors like Total Energies around the world, the two businesses has employment of more than 100,000, but only a few of them are managing these businesses. But how to manage these pumps and how to manage these segments, probably we have to have these AI products and co-pilot and sensors as well to sense and feedback the data to the data center at France. So to use the AI to design the new materials. Last year, in the past 5 years, and we joined hands with 9 Chinese companies and organizations to construct the carbon capture unit, which is one of the biggest in terms of the size. So we have to focus on innovations with the joint hands on the new technologies and the new materials. There are different types of innovations. The technology is one of them. But I think for low carbon development, innovation probably will be demonstrated in different formats. Innovations in the technologies and innovations in the management, yes. And also, Ms. Ko, you also mentioned the carbon capture as well. So in terms of the technology innovations, and Ms. Xu has mentioned how to efficiently transfer the technologies into our production. So I'd like to invite you to take the question, how can ExxonMobil attain this target, carbon capture, versus the other businesses in energy sectors, how to combine seamlessly of these different segments together? 非常感谢这个问题。我觉得呢，刚才徐先生讲的真的太好了，非常有洞见，而且呢也是做了多年的研究之后呢，得到这样的一个结果。在埃克森美孚，不要问我太多的问题。
Back to the series is a really good question. It's very important, and I think again I want to thank CCPIT because to bring industry, policymakers, as well as technology, these 3 components are very important. Why is that so? In the early days of any technology, right, it takes a long time to develop a technology. And then with that is high cost. Therefore, it is important for the right policies to be in place, open, transparent, and sustainable policy so that a new technology can grow quickly, deploy quickly at scale. And when you have it at scale, you will have economics of scale and therefore lower the cost. And once you're able to lower the cost, then market competition has to come into play. Therefore, it's very important that ExxonMobil, together with Total and many of our energy partners, work closely together with the policymakers to give us sustainable policies that will encourage investment in technology and quickly deploy to benefit many people out here. So that's a very important component. And we talk about energy trilemma. What is energy trilemma that we have to address today? that is basically security. We have to make sure that energy is secured. I talk about the disruption in energy. When we had disruption in energy, what happened? People's lives are impacted negatively in a big way. Then secondly, is we make sure that it's affordable. Just like Mr. Jiang, you mentioned just now, if it's not affordable, there are many people that are living below poverty today, energy poverty, and we have to address that. And then sustainability. So these three components are important. So I talk about the industry, the technology, and the technology coming together, and I talk about the energy trilemma. All this have to address so that we can basically address the challenges that we have today.
Zishan, you mentioned that very first point. I really want to emphasize a bit because earlier Mr. Chen, coming from his company, also talked about that. That is how to make sure that communication between industry to make technology happen to the manufacturing stage already and bring it to the market. Talking to the policymakers. That is a challenging job, especially today. So as you have been with your company for 35 years, after only 5 years to join, tell me more about how you are trying to connect those dots, especially you are here and you're around the world.
Yes,
if you can, thank you.
As a global company, we have basically worked in many countries, and including in China. I mentioned that we started in China since 1892. We collaborate and we communicate closely with the policymakers, not just in China, but just around the world, about what type of policies will be favorable to us. And not just to ExxonMobil, but really to the industry, so that the industry can blossom together. So that to me is key. And I just now saw that there was quite a lot of policymakers here, but I guess quite a few of them have stepped out. But these are forums that we engage with them, and obviously there will be a lot of meeting and engagement that we share with them how we can collaborate together.
徐先生，我也想问同样的问题。
Mr. Xu, I also have the same question to you because today in our panel and also in our event, we have invited a lot of stakeholders to discuss important topic. Communication is very important, not only in China, but also around the world. And also the decision makers need to be on the same page to encourage the businesses. I'm very happy to take this question because this is also very important change of my career, because previously I was responsible for the R&D of the Asia, and then I started to be responsible for also the government affairs of our businesses. And so I think that, of course, indeed, we need more communication and more cooperation. The very important key is to establish an ecosystem. The first one is the ecosystem that can unite the players in the upstream and downstream, not only in like solar power, wind power, not only in China, but also in the world. This is a vertical ecosystem where the players need to talk to each other and to get inspirations. But also the horizontal ecosystem is very important, which means that government and businesses and research institutions, think tanks need to talk more with each other, especially for renewable energy. For new energy, it's a very competitive market, especially in China. The competition is very fierce. We need to have a very precise understanding of the policies. And actually, recently, some of the European companies restored from China. But I believe that for any company, if they are able to survive in the Chinese market, they are very competitive globally. So recently, we established the China-EU Energy Cooperation and Innovation Platform. About 400 companies already joined us, where we can facilitate good dialogues between the companies and the government. And so we will help them to better understand the policy. What about the perspective of Chinese entrepreneurs? Mr. Chen, what's your take on that? Hello, dear co-panelists. To know that electricity is a core of energy supply. the safety and the reliability of the power devices is the foundation of reliable energy. With fast growth of ICT technology, digitalization and intelligent development become the driver of the sustainable transformation of the energy sector with the IoT, AI, and big data and in-depth integration. The full process real-time monitoring can be achieved. Precise adjustment and also dynamic optimization can be attained so as to cultivate refined operation and management. For us, we have our self-developed product, see as a smart 3 AI products is a combination of digitalization and also innovation. It focused on some features that's visible, understandable, and also we have the five innovation features and tactically resolved the low intelligent levels of the industry, high maintenance cost and high energy consumption and high installation cost and also high hydros. So it provided the solutions to promote the smart intelligence. Thank you so much, Mr. Chen. Thank you so much. I think that Mr. Chen is at the frontier of innovation, and when he talk about products, he can touch upon a lot of details of the product. Thank you so much. I also want to have this question to Mr. Zhang, as you are representative from the international organization and mentioned that many serve the developing countries. The previous speakers mentioned the most advanced development in innovation. Besides, it's not only related to innovation and also the cooperation between the stakeholders, and they need to share some vision. So my question to you, Mr. Zhang, is that as the international organization, how did you help with innovation and facilitate global cooperation? To answer your question, I can give you one example because UN mainly focus on three things: development, peace, and human rights. In terms of right of development, we mainly talk about or touch upon the people who have not the access to development. For instance, 700 million of them have no access to electricity, among which 600 million of them live in the Sahara area. They are at the bottom of the pyramid and they don't have money. And a lot of stakeholders, such as especially the businessmen, do not pay attention to such group of people. In Asia, the population who had no access to electricity has greatly reduced because of industrialization and the infrastructure development. And while in Africa, as some of the countries were quite poor, they didn't have a good infrastructure, and a lot of people still had no access to electricity. However, we have observed recently that it's not that a top technology or transformation influenced them, but some minor or not only the top technology has influenced them. So, for instance, in China, we used the devices and that uses the alternating current, and they need to be converted to the direct current. But in Africa, they have their home system. A lot of Chinese companies sell the direct current home appliances, such as the home refrigerator and fans and ACs, etc. Such products are very popular. If they were not able to do that, to afford it, then they can use a pay-as-you-go system, which means that every month they could pay amount of money, and then you will get the key password, and you can use for 1 month or 2 months, and after 1 or 2 years, and then the products will be owned by the users. And such system is very popular. Every year they had a growth of a user base of 1 million. These technologies are not leading technologies, and such technologies are from China. Yes, you just mentioned one example, but what about the wide application of AI and also the green technology, maybe based on the current foundation, whether for the less developed countries, will they enjoy the complete energy transformation and the revolution? There's a possibility, but not so big, because they don't have a good infrastructure, and they don't have enough talent, and they are not able to use the latest technology. So we believe that a step-by-step approach is more favorable. For instance, in Africa, they don't have the fixed line telephone. They just leapfrog and directly developed into the cell phone era. We do know that more and more companies are going global, and the competition and the cooperation between the businesses are also very interesting. So in China and also in the world, what about their interactions?
And also, I understand you have been working very much in that direction as well, your company. Meanwhile, from the gas has been a key component of ExxonMobil. How is that working into the latest cooperation competition picture? Please, Zheshan.
Thank you. And what I like to share is a lot of time people wonder, oh, how do we work with renewables? So first of all, ExxonMobil is the largest, if not one of the largest, purchaser of renewables. But we produce gas as well as LNG. And we always mention that it's the best friend of renewables, because renewables, although it's really great, it's clean and it's abundant, but it's intermittent. So how do we supplement it with intermittent? And one of the best things to do is actually to complement that with natural gas. So then that is the part that I talk about collaboration. So we collaborate with many industry players, and we collaborate with Peking Institute, the Energy Institute of Peking University. One of the collaboration that we have done, and the study is very important, is to say that natural gas plus renewable is actually pretty equivalent in terms of affordability of coal plus renewable. Because a lot of time, people will say that natural gas is more expensive than coal, which is true. However, if you inject lots of renewables into the grid, then the amount of coal that is needed is a lot. So we collaborate with an independent body, which is the Energy Institute of Peking University. Then we realize that the cost is actually pretty affordable when you add with renewables. However, what is the biggest difference? The biggest difference is the CO2 emission drop drastically. So in terms of competition and collaboration, there's a lot of things as an industry we can collaborate together, from safety to sustainability and even to technology collaboration. But in terms of competition, it must be a healthy, fair, and open competition so that we can bring the best to the consumers. So that's how I would classify how we can collaborate as well as how we can compete. And just now we have, the 3 NOCs around, right? The China 3 NOCs. So we collaborate a lot together with them. And even with Total, we have a lot of joint venture together as well. So it is a very interesting thing that we can really collaborate, and then we can compete fairly as well. 不要内卷，也不要内耗, but it's really to compete fairly and openly.
我发现子珊不经常说这个普通话，一说。
Yes, when you speak Chinese, the Chinese version is always the key one. Yes. Mr. Xu, the same question will be posed to you. Competition and cooperation is always the buzzword, and in the new era, in the new stage, it is a rather new topic as well. So please shed a light on us. First of all, cooperation is supposed to look for a stable and reliable partner is always something that we value most in Total Energy, especially China to Total Energy is the important market, important region. We have had a lot of energy projects in collaboration with the Chinese companies overseas in Africa, in the Middle East, in Asia-Pacific region, in Brazil, in Americas. And in many areas, we cooperate very frequently, and this cooperation brings a lot of benefits. For example, we can share the risk of the geopolitical tensions together, and we can share and amortize the risks from some sectors, and then we can as well transport the energies from the source of the energies to the areas in great need of the resources, and we can provide the services and product in collaboration with our partners to lower the cost, to safeguard the security. And this is a comprehensive co-benefit for all of us. And today we can see the delegation of EU to us, and we can see previously we are talking with some of the members from the delegation of the different countries and regions. So in any area, when we talk about cooperation and collaboration, we always focus on the regions of this delegation. Probably we can jump out of this region to explore the third-party region to make the cooperation meaningful and expansive. That is the values we can create from this cooperation. Talking about the commercial values, I want to come back to the research and development collaboration. We have had a very strong network of the research and development comprised of the thousands of the researchers, and I want to tell you that more than 1,000 projects every year are jointly collaborated on every year, and that can bring expertise and brainstormed insights to us. So I think cooperation is important, and competition, of course, can help us to be stronger and to also embrace the advantages of the counterparts. I want to follow up. And several days ago, I interviewed one Nobel Prize winner of physics, and this expert was also the Department Secretary of the Energy of his country. So as a researcher, he said he concerned that these very simple materials that we research on probably will be influenced in the future. To the scientists, this is a huge concern already. But of course, he's talking about the challenge from his own perspective. Now, how can the business to collaborate and communicate with the policymakers is a very grand topic. So the enterprises, be it in America or EU or in China, we maintain very frequent collaboration communication so that we can feel the bright future. And Mr. Xu and Ms. Cole. I think this is something on the minds of everyone. So first of all, I want to say MNCs are most supportive forces for collaboration and cooperation. So we will be fully supportive of the R&D, commercial, communication, cooperation. And let's turn back to the energy transition and carbon neutrality. First of all, we have to know the background. The emission reduction is actually the topic transcending the times. Today, every one of us is emitting carbon dioxide, but can you see it? Are you afraid of it? No, because otherwise you will not inhale and exhale at all. And the carbon dioxide is fluid. So in coping with the science and technology research on the climate change and the carbon emission reduction, we have to research together. And for talking about the neutrality of the carbon neutrality would impose some cost. In the past years, in research, collaboration with other counterparts, China is always dedicated on the deployment of the new tracks of new energies that we are willing to cooperate. Be it the competitors or the partners, that they are laying the foundation for us as well. So.
Probably give you an example. Yesterday was a really special day for ExxonMobil. We have a grand opening of our first ever ethylene cracker in China. It's a multi-billion-dollar investment that we made that final investment decision actually during COVID.
Congratulations.
And why did I bring up that example? Because the EPC, which is the engineering, procurement, and construction company, is Sinopec. And because of the great collaboration that we have with Sinopec, is safely, we basically have 83 million safety man-hours to complete the construction of a world-scale, first ever foreign, wholly owned ethylene cracker in China. Secondly, is below budget and ahead of schedule. Such collaboration is only possible because we all work together. So this is just one of the many examples. We have lots of collaboration with Sinopec. We have collaboration with CNOOC in Guyana. And you look at the amazing progress of Guyana as a country. From 0 barrel of oil to where they are 10 years later. And you look at the advancement of the quality of life due to the investment that we work together with CNOOC, together with the Guyanese government, together with the Guyanese. So therefore, collaboration is the key to ensuring that we make progress, not just for our company, but for, not just for China, but really for the world.
Thank you very much. 我同时也想请教陈先生关于
So Mr. Chen, talking about the competition and collaboration in the innovative environments, so what is your viewpoints? In terms of the supply chain, competition and collaboration, I agree that the virtuous competition is the key to success for all. And in our group, the synergies as well as collaboration can promote the output of the supply chain as well as the digitalization of supply chain. And also, we can share the data together in the supply chain. With the shared information, we can visualize and enhance the efficiency. We can enhance the resilience against the fluctuations with joint hands, with cooperation. The synergized cooperation with the supply chain can stabilize the cooperation itself for a long time. And the quality of the cooperation itself can be enhanced due to the cooperation itself. Because the supply chain can be very complicated, the system can be very complex. The solutions are shared by all in the global market through the communications and technologies and joint exploration can further the global supply chain upgrades. Okay, Mr. Zhang, the same question will be posed to you because there will be some competition between the different international organizations or between the NGO and companies, so the cooperation will be numerous. Yes, the speakers previously mentioned international cooperation's importance. Yes, I can give you 2 examples. The first one is that previously in Denmark, the government funded the UNDP project, and the UNDP transferred the money to the Ministry of Science and Technology of China, and China using this fund to transfer the technology to Ghana and other developing countries. So this kind of multilateral collaboration. And the second example is in Shenzhen company. This company is also a supplier of total energy to develop a very mini product of solar power. And all the stations, the solar power, the few stations are selling the solar power products as well. And one product is costing like $5 USD. The price is very low, and that is information about this example. So I believe the collaboration between China and other international counterparts can be multifaceted. And the second is our cooperation and competition within China's market. China's industrial transformation upgrades are driven by two forces. One is digital technology, and the second is the green technology. So they are driving forward the transformation of the whole industry. And one transformation from industry 1.0 to 2.0 for African countries, especially the Central African countries, they're without an industry at all. They have some plants, but not having the industrialization at all. So these technologies can be transferred to these countries. It is a very good opportunity for them to be industrialized, and most of or a lot of Chinese enterprises come to Africa. Because if you do not go overseas, you will be outdated and will be eliminated from the market. So in the end, the SMEs would be the ones seizing the opportunity very fast. And in the beginning, probably we will see the disorganized and disorderly development of the going global. But in the end, they will be getting more and more reasonable and rationalized and more orderly organized. They play the role that cannot be done by the SOEs. They are supplementary to the SOEs. And many years ago, the solar power products illustration paper actually giving the wrong information. The source of the product, like made in China, is not shown, but instead made in Germany. And after several years, we can see the generations of the development of the technologies have been posing China's position very prominently. And I believe that the competition relation will be more and more reasonable, and cooperation will be bigger than competition in the end. Thank you. Yeah, cooperation is bigger than competition as the last and final notes of this discussion. Please share with us with one or two words what is the biggest opportunities present here for cooperation, and how can we better join hands together, starting from Mr. Jiang and ending with Mr. Chen. Mr. Jiang, be brief. Please keep your eyes on international market, international cooperation, and the poor people. Thank you, Mr. Chen. Mr. Xu, I'd like to take the Expo as the key words. When we are transforming, we need participation of all people to promote the energy transition in the low carbon efficient manner. Thank you. And Ms. Cole.
To mention something that is completely different than what I talked about just now, which is actually talent, to attract the right talent into our industry and to retain the talent. Because it's only with talent, with the right people, then we can advance the technology, and then we can do the collaboration and communication. So let's make sure that we work together to attract the best talent into our industry.
Yes, you have already posed the introduction of the second topic for the panel discussion. Mr. Chen. Today, I'm very grateful for the Expo and organizing this panel discussion. I believe the biggest takeaways to me is that we can join hands and then we can embrace together with all put hands. Thank you very much. We're so efficient. Thank you. Okay, let's thank all of the speakers and the panelists in the first discussion. Please be seated.
Now we are going to invite the panelists to the second panel discussion. The topic of our panel discussion 2 is integrating the four chains, including innovation chain, industrial chain, capital chain, and talent chain. And how can they be better integrated and drive energy transition?
On the topic of the second panel discussion, which is integrating the four chains. As we know, innovation chain, industrial chain, capital chain, talent chain, and etc. So we would like to invite to the stage our panelists. 我们现在呢就有请到舞台上和大家见面。
So we're going to invite the panelists of the second panel discussion, including Director Jia Zhonghua of Environmental Protection Center of the Machinery Industry, President Xie Hongchao of Shenlong Electric Group, and Chairman CGTN of Dalian Ice Mountain Group, and President Weng Chaowei of Longshine Technology Group. Thank you. Welcome. I think that the people in the energy sector is very efficient. So, okay. So now we are going to kick off our panel discussion, which will last about 45 minutes. Each one of you will have 10 minutes in total. So please match your time. Speaking of the full chains, I really hope that we can start from Director Jia. So maybe from the policy perspective and the research perspective, the energy transformation is very the transformation in the different parts is very huge. So would you please share with us the status quo? In particular, I believe your insights will be very useful for the businessman. Dear moderator and distinguished guests, good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here. I'm from the industrial sector, and I'm specialized in environmental protection and low carbon development research. It's fair to say that the energy transition is very important topic close to my heart. The previous speakers already mentioned that now we're at a juncture of low carbon and green development. Energy transition is a main field, and also it's a very important part for the businesses to reshape our competitiveness and claim the commanding height. I want to use 3 phrases to summarize the energy transition in the industry. The first is a faster growth, in-depth promotion, and integration. I think that it's mainly related to the industry policies and also the strong market mechanism. In about 150 countries and regions already established the carbon neutrality goal. China is accelerating our dual carbon goal, while also the CBAM in Europe is reshaping the carbon-related rules. Besides, new energy is becoming a main part of energy mix. Just now, the representative from NEA already mentioned that installed capacity of any new energy already surpassed the total capacity of thermal coal energy. Besides, the price of the renewable energy is cheaper than that of the coal-fired power. Just as elaborated by the theme of our forum and to chasing innovation and green development for the future. Without energy transition, we are not able to have a sustainable future. So businesses need to embrace energy transition and accelerate reform of high energy consuming businesses. We shall also claim the commanding height of new energy machinery and explore the potential of using digitalization and explore the green finance and new business model. Only by embracing the transformation can we be able to win in the competition. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Jia. And I think that the 3 representatives are definitely embracing the green transformation, and also they are doing that very fast. So, okay, President Xie, please. I think green transition mainly include 3 parts, including energy supply, which is mainly related to development of new energy. The second is at the user side, which is to improve energy efficiency. The third one is about the efficiency of the terminals, like the AC, etc. We mainly focused on the third part, the efficiency, which is related to the last mile issue, because I believe that the user side are changing fastly. Traditionally, the operational efficiency is quite low, and waste is very huge. 10 years ago, with digital revolution, we facilitate industry to transform to more intelligent. And currently, with AI algorithm and combination of software and hardware, we can predict the user behavior and optimize the scheduling of the load, improve efficiency, and lower energy consumption. I can give you one example. For the load ratio of the transformer would be very high. We do know that if the loading rate is extremely high or low, it will lead to heavy energy waste. With our algorithm, we are able to predict the power demand and actively scheduling the pressure allocation so that the transformers will run at a high efficiency range, and such solution can save energy usage by about 3%. Another example is about the central AC, especially it accounts for like 30 to 40% of the total energy consumption of the buildings, and because it can only passively adjust its own compressor, which leads to a lot of energy waste. However, with our solution, we can predict the energy demand so that the compressor can be run at a highly efficient range, and also to distribute its allocation of energy at a more reasonable scale. It can help us to reasonably save energy, like by 20%. And in other countries, for instance, DeepMind used the solution to save the energy by about 40% of their data center. So here you can see that with AI, with algorithm, it can greatly help us to better save energy. Thank you so much, President Xie, for your example about how to attain the goal by embracing AI. Speaking of Dalian Ice Mountain Group, we do know that this is a very important player in the AC sector. So would you please share with us some of your most interested areas in your industry? Thank you so much. Our company specialized in the cooling and heating of the industrial sector. It's fair to say that the industry is a main user of energy, but now they also need to transform themselves into the creator of energy and also a very active participant of using new energy. Speaking of the generators of energy, for instance, the heat pump, maybe that would be a very appropriate example. You may know that for one power electricity, it can have 3 pumps. So for the high temperature pump and also the vapor pumps, they are widely used in the industries to replace boilers because they are more energy conservative. And also we have some devices exhibited at the booth of the CISCE, and we work together with a company in Germany, and so we displayed the compressor at 90 MB, which has a very high efficiency because the common category is about 30 to 50 PPA, and so we can have a higher or faster hydrogen refueling efficiency, which would be very helpful. And a very important part be it energy transition or for future ecosystem. Of course, we could facilitate the transition, but we shall never forget to lower the cost, to optimize the cost, because only in this way are we able to facilitate sustainable transformation. Because we cannot only focus on single case studies. The key is about commercialization. There are a lot of ways of energy storage, and at this event, we also displayed the energy storage system, because we do know energy storage system is a very important part, but it's not actually 100% commercialized. So we need to minimize the cost. The current energy storage, for instance, if the gap of the electricity tariff is about 0.5 RMB between the peak and the valley, then commercialization is more realistic. So I just want to say, for energy transition and development of new energy, cost is very important, because that's the key for commercialization. Yes, you have mentioned very important point for businesses. Just now, the two representatives from companies already mentioned their insights, while President Wong, we do know previously we mainly emphasized digitalization, and now AI is more popular. So what effect can such emerging technology create? Thank you so much, moderator. This afternoon, a lot of panelists already mentioned two important words, green and low carbon development. So in making it happen, on the one hand, we need to focus on the supply side, which means that we need to increase the ratio of clean energy. For instance, in the future, it may account for about 90%, while from the user side, we need to enhance electrification and improve from the current less than 30% to about 70%. We believe it's closely related to energy security and also industrial development, as well as the requirement of the dual carbon goal. And this will take time, and also it's our long-term strategy. Our company, Longshine Technology, is a tech company specialized in energy and electrification. So maybe we could think about the new opportunities in the context of energy transition. The first opportunity lies in serving the new scenarios with digital platforms. For instance, while electrification is accelerating, some new energy service scenarios will be born. For instance, you may know the current quite popular EVs, and the new energy supplementary or charging system is needed. Currently, the NEV is over about 38 million, and also there are over 4 million charging poles. So theoretically speaking, this is a market with a full competition, and there is a market of the discarded demand and the centralized supply. The NEV owners need the solution of a green energy charging for each charging pole, as they are scattered, and for such suppliers of the charging piles or charging poles, they hope that their charging poles can be fully utilized. So the digitalized monitoring to distribute this is very important.
It has gathered the 1.2 million poles, and now it has up to 2 million, serving all the cars in the map. And it is not only a service network of charging for the vehicles. It can, at the same time, the price actually can be the basis to feed back the power supply to other sectors, and new commercial modes can be generated. I believe the projects like the micro network of the power and the shared storage of the power, as well as the zero carbon parks, can be further incubated. And then second, I have seen the AI played a very important role in the transactions. But due to time, I will not elaborate. AI transactions probably will be talked about until next day. We will launch a new platform for AI transactions, and we're welcome to visit our exhibition area. So I believe in terms of the transactions, I have seen a huge opportunities of the data asset as a new mode of the service. We can serve this data asset. The traditional energies is based on a very fixed and a certain market, but when the market is uncertain, when it is full of fluctuations, we need a new service mode. We need new mode of service provision for the financing, for the options of the financing of the enterprises. And we can use the blockchain technologies and the benefit and returns from the energy sectors and energy companies actually can be uploaded to the blockchain environment. Yes, I believe your answers can be further elaborated in the next question. I think we have done a lot of innovations, and many of them are so unique, and a lot of details can be elaborated on. Probably we can categorize them into different classes, like talents, the capital, the industry, and so on and so forth. So in your own respective sector, which one is so more important than others? And Mr. Jia. Yeah, I think all of the 4 key areas are equally important, but to myself, I think the capital chain is the most important. Because capital, I don't think entrepreneur would emphasize capital, but your researcher, you're emphasizing capital as well. Yes, capital right now is very important, including the energy sectors are faced with 3 challenges. First one is the energy insecurity due to the conflict between Ukraine and Russia, and the second is the tariff conflicts imposed by U.S., and the third one is China has to go global to deploy international network of new energies. Talking about the capital, I believe there are some problems of capital chain in energy sectors. The major area of these challenges in the innovations, as well as the problem of the mismatching of the supply and the demand, the capital to the innovation. We can see some mismatches of the capital, and the risks getting more and more serious last year. The whole new energies investment in the world is about $2 trillion USD. But the rate of mismatch is very big and very serious. Most of the capital invested on the application side or user side to the innovations, the proportion is very low. So seldom. Few of the investment on the long-term investment, and many of them are the short-term. The long-term perspective, which requires very huge investment, which is also subject to the constraint of the technological bottlenecks, and they need a lot of money. But they have invested very insufficiently. But where can we get the money? But of course, in China, new energy has become the leading sector and industry, be it the scale and also the innovations speed. We are the leader. So we suggest that we can use the favorable policies or supportive policies from the government to support the long-term funding and the patient funding to finance these long-term projects. For example, the new energies offshore, the green hydrogen, which requires at least 10 years of research and development cycle. We can see a lot of bottlenecks that need to be cracked down by these long projects. And the second, now a new energy sector also needs the requirements upgrades. The cost of the upgrades is increasing due to some reason. The reason number one is that China in the PV sectors and the fuel batteries account for 70+% of the market share, but due to the geopolitical tensions, the Chinaization slogan, we have faced a lot of challenges in setting up the overseas plants. And the US and the EU countries, they are directing the reindustrialization as well as subsidizing their industries right now, which increase the cost of going global for these energy sectors and enterprises. And the pressure on these new energy players is so big. So we think it is necessary to configure a network comprised of the positive circle of the capital and the policies and the commercial modes. So the capital and direction of the investment can be on the long-term research projects for the technologies and high-end technologies. On the other hand, the capitalist has to be brave enough to invest to benefit the whole world. And we need this resilient cycle to help those new energy players to be healthy and resilient. Thank you very much. A lot of entrepreneurs now, they are doing their business and they are doing their trials as well. So, Mr. G, among these 4 chains, which one is most important to you? All of them are equally important to you. Just now, Mr. Jia mentioned the capital and a full front vision is very important, but I believe all of them are equally important. So I'd like to take your view. Yeah, these 4 chains mentioned by the previous speaker already. I want to talk innovation chain first. Why innovation first? We didn't introduce ourselves. We have had a history of 95 years of development. Congratulations. 95 years. You can just imagine. For 95 years, so most of the time, you're just a traditional company. Without innovation, you can never be developed so long time till now. So talking about the innovation in the new energy sectors, I believe we have had our own roadmap, and that is also featuring energy, but how to conserve energy, because energy conservation is the dominant direction. We must keep conserving energy and increase our capacity of reducing the energy. And of course, we're across the different disciplines, and we are doing business in the different segments as well. And we have our fundamental technologies, and the fundamental technologies are upgrading day by day. I can give you one example here, like talking about the tourism based on snow, like making the ice for the tourism purposes. The traditional technologies are not enough. In Beijing Olympic Games, the Winter Olympic Games, they were using the carbon dioxide-based systems to make the ice. It is very smart and also very efficient. And some days ago, I was visiting a project in Beijing with investment of more than 2 billion in the east suburban areas, funded by Shoufa Group. There are 2 systems. One system is traditional system. The other one is the carbon dioxide cross critical pressure system, and that is very severely involving a lot of risks, but very smart. I compare these 2 systems, and finally, I see the efficiency are so different. And previously, Ms. Tian mentioned what is my view about the future capital. If the industrial policies from the government can be adaptive to the needs of the industry, it would be okay. But to our perspective, I think the capital direction is good, but we also have to respect our own capacity. We have to do the business with our capacity, within our capacity. And now the capital market is somehow not supportive to do something beyond your capacity. It is unrealistic at all. You must do your own business with your best efforts, but within your capacity and ability. Thank you. Yes, you are so down to earth. And the company of longevity must have the secret of longevity. And Mr. Xie, among these 4 chains, which one is most important to you? And what is your response to the previous speeches? Talking about innovation chain and industrial chain, these 2 chains are deeply integrated so as to deploy and land the projects and the commercial modes. Innovation itself, we have our own LLM, which is different from the DeepSeek, because the large language model cannot tackle the specific problem in the segment market, in the segment industry. Or the knowledge accumulation is not enough, or they do not have the sufficient data to operate. This data is coming from the secrets of the dealers, actually. And we have massive number of data, and we can train the model by using this massive data. And we also have some equipments model. Some of the model is faced with the consumption side, and we are looking at the user side or the operation of the power, including the forecast of the power load and the trajectories and also the curves of the different elements of the power supply, and to predict the pressures and the stress of the power supply in some specific time points. And we must combine the different technologies together, and our customers are located in the different corners of the world, and we cannot compare with this company, but we also have accumulated 40+ years of experience. And the algorithms and our products are deeply combined and deeply integrated together on the system, and so we can save the energy. Yes, I really like your practicism of entrepreneur. We can see the development of the company day by day, especially against current situation, is so good. And Mr. Weng, all of these 4 are important. So to the energy transition, I want to emphasize specifically capital chain. Capital chain to energy company is very important because the energy sector would consume a lot of capital, and we have to generate the virtuous cycle of the flow of the capital. That is the cornerstone for the virtuous development of the energy sector at large. And the previous 3 speakers mentioned, we have had the integration of technologies from different scattered locations, and the threshold for the players is lower day by day. And the SMEs created the scenarios of the application of these technologies, and for the platforms, like the operators at the platform side, 80% of the operators of the charging poles are SMEs. And compared to the big energy application producers and developers, probably they would face the different challenges which are very severe right now. And the traditional way is based on the credits. But in order to promote the fast development of the energy sector, probably we have to innovate the new mode of the capital flow. In recent years, we can see in Hong Kong is actively advancing these platforms and servicing the real economy by some data assets in some formats. And in this new format, enlightened us a lot because we can see the values of the data asset can be dismantled, can be degraded, and can be penetrated. And the new energies asset can be fixed by the data asset. And this kind of anchoring between each other can create the new realms connecting the data and the physical environment.
Theory speaking, it can improve the efficiency to use assets. If we are able to collect the innovation chain, there will be 3 advantages. First, financing efficiency will be greatly improved. Currently, the new energy asset is run online. With AI, we are able to describe the asset fastly, while blockchain can help us to build a new model of trust. That's why financing efficiency can be increased. And secondly, the channel financing will be further expanded because if the asset of the new energy can be transformed into digital asset, it will be available for the investors globally. The scale of such asset will be expanded, and we believe the asset of financing cost will be lowered. Thirdly, it can also bring new possibilities of innovation, which means that when the physical asset can also be participated in other derivatives and create more values. Thank you so much for your analysis. Yes, I think there's a great potential in this area. I believe that businessmen, decision makers, and the researchers are all working on it as time is very limited. Now we will have a last question. Please respond to the last question very briefly. Today we already talked about industry policies, the communication of stakeholders, etc. In the future, in a green world, which is our ultimate goal, while now we are also experiencing a lot of changes. For the businesses, we need to survive and also we need to thrive. So how can we prepare ourselves for that? Maybe you can start from Mr. Wong. Okay? Okay, maybe you could just share with us your insights in 3 or 4 sentences. I think if businesses are trying to create a green future, we should start from ourselves. We need to implement the ESG philosophies with our daily management and operation. Secondly, we can also influence the industrial chain and also the ecosystem. On the upstream, we can pose some requirements and also pass on the value of low carbon and green development. And for some capable businesses, we should also encourage them to make some long-term investment in low carbon technologies. What about you, Mr. Ji? What's your take? I think that on the one hand, we need to stick to the technology path to make energy-saving offerings and products, and also need to work with the upstream and downstream to work together with stakeholders and to lower the cost of the industry to facilitate energy transition. Thirdly, we need to embrace AI. We can use AI as a tool to reshape the industrial chain and to do what is right. Okay. What about you, Mr. Xie? I think I have 3 points. Firstly, AI model and also AI algorithm in specialized field is very important. It can really change the industry. Secondly, the model and the algorithm need to be deeply integrated with our products and enable the users. Thirdly, we shall also facilitate the standard coordination and harmonization so as to facilitate our energy transition for a brighter and a greener future. Thank you. What about you, Mr. Jia? I think that a green future is not only an environmental goal, but also a necessary choice for mankind. And whether you are willing or not, or you are doing it passively or actively, that's the only choice for us. And without green development, we don't have a great future. So all the businesses and all the entrepreneurs and all the people in the planet need to work towards this goal. Thank you so much for sharing with us such a broad picture. That will be the end of this session. I want to thank all of you again for your impressive ideas. In particular, you have helped us understand how AI changed the industry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now please take your seat. And while we are preparing for the stage, I also want to take the opportunity to thank all the panelists and also all the keynote speakers. Meanwhile, we will have time to invite a good friend to share with us. So we are going to invite Greg Jackson, founder and CEO of Octopus Energy Group, and he is going to share with us his insights.
Jackson, founder and CEO of Octopus Energy Group. 有请。Mr. Jackson, feel free to use that or use this one.
Shall I go here?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a great honor to address this illustrious audience here in China. I want to, first of all, take us back to 17th century Europe, where the merchants and educated people would go on what was called the Grand Tour, and they would visit the great sites of Europe. They would visit Paris, Venice, Athens and Rome, and they would come back and tell tales of the wonders that they saw. In today's Europe, the Grand Tour is of Chinese energy. I and so many of my peers from the UK, from Europe, business and politics, come back from China and tell people about all the great progress we're seeing in renewable energy. For example, I don't know how many people here know, but 74% of all of the solar and wind projects being built in the world today are being built in China. And it's not just on the infrastructure side. Chinese technology is pioneering the demand and consumption of new energy as well, with more than half of the cars sold in China last year being new energy vehicles. But increasingly, Chinese cars and Chinese batteries are becoming the solution in many countries outside of China. And the Chinese technology is proving to be perhaps the most important advance for clean energy. Of course, there are issues with clean energy. The traditional incumbent forces of energy, and some politicians in some countries will tell us, in case we didn't know, that sometimes it's not windy. And maybe in a country like Britain, it's occasionally not even sunny, and that nowhere is it sunny at night. Well, fortunately, we were aware of these issues, but they help contribute to a backlash. In the US, we hear about drill, baby, drill. And in Canada, in Europe, in the United Kingdom, in Germany, there are now very strong forces against the energy transition. Now, we know that this is being created for political reasons, but I think it is the great opportunity, and it is it's critical to drive this path, that we recognize and we tell the story of the opportunity of clean energy. Because look, when it is windy and when it is sunny, we have abundant, clean, cheap, secure energy. We're not dependent on foreign forces for our energy when we have clean energy supplies. And it lets us do things that we've never been able to do before. Look, here in China, domestic energy is cheap. But in Europe, households pay very, very high prices for their energy. And the world of clean energy, optimized through digital technology and through AI, allows us to offer people free energy at the times it's windy and sunny. There were 500 periods last year when electricity prices in Europe were negative. And so what we can do is find ways to enable citizens and industry to benefit from this entirely new energy system. At Octopus, in 8 different countries, we now build homes that don't have energy bills, with a combination of solar panels, batteries, a heat pump, and a hot water heater that we can digitally control. we can manage that home to eliminate energy bills. We guarantee no bills for 10 years. And we do that because we can fill the battery with cheap electricity when it's sunny or when the grid price is low. And we can sell that electricity back to the grid when the grid price is expensive. And then we can use the money we've made doing that to buy more electricity from the grid to power the house during winter and overnight. Electric vehicles powered through this intelligent automation can reduce the cost of driving by 70%, 3 times cheaper than the grid price, because we'll fill the battery with a different schedule every day, every car responding to the local conditions, the local solar, the local wind. Look, a typical EV battery holds enough power for a typical home for a week, and yet the average commute uses only 10% of that power. So we can optimize the battery, and at scale, EV batteries are the biggest distributed source of electricity storage in many nations, even now. And if the battery is capable of vehicle to grid, where the battery can empty into the house or into the grid, we can eliminate driving bills altogether. And it works for every form of consumption. Look, recently with the weather in China, we hit a peak demand in China driven by things like air conditioning load on hot days. That's happening around the world. But with the intelligent management of new energy, we can cool buildings before we hit the peak demand and then use very little electricity at peak times. We do this in Texas, a place where people don't like you to interfere with their home, where they love being in control. And 92% of customers don't change our actions. Look, China is doing so much to enable this huge opportunity for China itself and for the rest of the world. And when we bring people the benefits of cheap, clean energy, optimized through digital technology and artificial intelligence, they love it. In every country we operate, customers give us 4.8 out of 5 on Trustpilot, except for Italy, where they're very lovely and give us 4.9, and Germany, where they're a bit tougher, and it's 4.7. We operate in 32 countries, and we are finding the same dynamics, the same opportunities in every one of them. Just like everybody in the world loves KFC or Burger King, or increasingly BYD, so everyone in the world loves cheap energy, and that's what we can deliver. The purple line shows the difference in love that consumers have for this smart dynamic energy compared to the old-fashioned energy. This is in the UK, but the same applies everywhere. And I personally have been privileged to host dozens of delegations from China to talk about how we can do this around the world. And I think we need to be working together. People ask me about the situation with trade and geopolitics. But fundamentally, the investments China has made in research and development and the technologies that drive down the cost of batteries, that drive down the cost of solar, mean that we win this on economic grounds. And look, it is the one pathway to global prosperity. There are 600 million people in Africa that don't have access to electricity. And access to electricity is absolutely the driver of economic growth. I just want to talk about how we can work together. I don't know whether anyone here would recognize, but the guy on the right-hand side is the Formula 1 world champion, Damon Hill. And there he is with me, releasing an incredible offer with a BYD car in Europe, where for a single payment of £300 a month, drivers get the car, but they get free charging at home because it's bi-directional. So in a world where so many countries worry about the cost of fuel, Chinese technology, our digital innovation, and embracing consumers gives a solution that is escaping from fossil fuel and delivers better what people want. And that will work in every country in the world. And look, I just wanted to say, for me, this is not just business. For every one of us, this should be personal. That's my grandmother. She's 101 years old. And that's my 2 sons. And what drives me in this mission, and I hope can unite all of us, is we've got to be able to give my grandmother energy she can afford, a home that is warm in winter and cool in summer. But we've got to do it in a way that means those 2 boys are going to grow up in a world that's inhabitable. And I think that is the shared mission in clean energy, the greatest business opportunity of our lifetime, but also the greatest moral imperative. And I'd like to thank China for the leadership now in driving the solutions the rest of the world needs to work with, and we'd love to work with you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jackson.
Grandma, and hug your 2 boys for us. Thank you so much. And the vision that you have described, together with global partnership to make real things happen for the real people, is what we are talking about today. Thank you once again. And next, let's move on to the last stage of today's event.
So the last session for today's event is the launch of the actions. I'd like to invite the President of China Entry-Exit Inspection and Quarantine Association, as well as the Association of Carbon Pooling of China, to get to the stage. I'd like to invite President Wang Xin from China Exit Entry Inspection and Quarantine Association to deliver the speech and introducing this action. Distinguished guests and dear friends, good afternoon. At this 3rd China International Supply Chain Expo, in this event of the clean energy transition, I'd like to extend the gratitude to the invitation to me and to launch the special action on protected eco-origin products and green carbon sequestrations. The aim of this action is to generate the innovations of a carbon transition and to harness on the resources entitlement of the different locations to promote the regional supply chains upgrades and transformation to speed up the energy transitions and low carbon development to attain the future green goals. Xinjiang People's Government of Era County in Hetian was the first local government to sign up for this action. And China University of Renmin University of China and the School of the Ecological Environment of this university serves as the top-notch academic think tank in terms of suggestions of the policies and offering of the talents, providing the suggestions of the policymakers to formulate the circle of the innovations and intelligent support. And this forms a standard policy technology close-up, and the association will set up the platform together with other regions to provide the paradigms that can copy and paste. The background of this action: first, the dual carbon goals from the nation. China proposed the dual carbon goals 2030 and 2060 respectively. Clean energy, low carbon transformation would be the major pathways to realize the values of the ecological products, and carbon seeking capacity would be the crucial elements. And second, the international supply chain are accelerating, And this expo is focusing on the themes of clean energy, as well as the connection of the eco origin products with international green supply chain. The third one is the needs for the synergized collaboration, and we need to pull the policies, the technologies, market together, which requires the efforts from the government, academic research institute, and industrial associations. Fourth one is to generate the entitlement of the different resources and the different locations of resources, and we need to select the best place to crack down the vulnerabilities, to explore the new pathways of sustainable development of the ecosystem. And second, the purpose of the special action, to protect the products of the ecological origin by certifying the local specific agricultural products, for example, organic forest fruits, livestock products, and so on and so forth, to promote the realization of the green waters and the green mountains into the gold and the silver mountains. And the second one is the innovation of the green carbon sink mechanisms to develop forestry and agricultural carbon sink projects, exploring carbon sink trading and ecological compensation mechanisms. Third, clean energy supply chain optimization based on local wind, solar resources to promote the PV plus agriculture and green electricity plus carbon sink models to create a low carbon supply chain demonstration. Fourth, integration of the industry, university research, utilization relying on the research ability of the Renmin University of China School of Ecological Environment and the Standard System of China Entry-Exit Inspection and Quarantine Association will formulate a producible eco-economic coordination development model. Third, action significance. First, economic value, create the added value of the local ecological products, broaden income channels for the farmers and herdsmen, and consolidate the achievements of poverty alleviation. Second, the ecological values, rehabilitate the desertified land through carbon sequestration. Third, demonstration of policies in the western frontier areas to explore the models and the strategies of ecological protection plus low carbon development and the service provided by the government. And the fourth one, the international influence through the Expo platform to promote the matching of the product of the ecological origin together with the international green supply chain and standard. Next, I'd like to invite Secretary General Jia Tieyin from School of Ecological Environment of Renmin University of China to interpret the special action of the ecological origin protection and green carbon sequestration. Welcome. Thank you very much, Mr. Wang. The planet Earth is beautiful, but it is so fragile. With the centuries of progress of the industry, we can see the degradation of the environment is very serious. We can see the deep conflicts of man and nature is getting more and more serious. President Xi Jinping many years ago proposed the slogan of the green water and the mountains are the golden mountains and waters. So it is very important to sustain the development of economy, and ecological protection has been changed fundamentally and unprecedentedly, but how to translate the green mountains and rivers into the treasures and how to add values and realize the values of the treasure, it is something very imperative right now. Renmin University of China is the first university founded by the party, and the ecological school is the school that has been early established to nurturing the talents in all trades regarding ecological protection and development. And our school has been dedicated on realization of the values, the carbon neutrality. Research are very forefront with our contributions. And today we're very happy to see that the Association of Quarantine and Inspection, as well as other organizations, together with the Xinjiang Cele County government, proposed the special action on the product of the ecological origin to explore the protection of the origin and protect the green treasures of the product. It is very practical and innovative and forefront. And our school is willing to track and follow up these projects so that it can copy it and demonstrate it in other areas, in other countries. And we have to formulate the structures and the systems that can be very positive and also referenceable to the villages and rural development in China at large. And we can build up our knowledge system by ourselves from this project. Finally, I'd like to congratulate to the county government of Cele in Xinjiang, as well as China Entry, Exit Inspection and Quarantine Association, and my university, and we can join hands together for further treatments for this action plan. Thank you. Thank you, the School of Ecological Environment of Renmin University of China, for understanding and support for this action. And our association is a social organization approved by Ministry of Civil Affairs, and we will be subject to the supervision and the management of the business guidance, the supervision and the management of the multiple departments, guided by the competent department, serving as the bridge between the government and the member enterprises, aiming to protect the entry, exit, personal safety of the industry and agricultural production. Many thanks will be given to the invitation to our association to attend this third Expo and attend this thematic event to share the content of this special action. And it's our hope that we can take this opportunity to pull the driving forces with the different forces of the society, contribute to this special action, and to also contribute to the international and global clean energy supply chain with China's solutions, and also to contribute to the decarbonization of the supply chain and energy transitions of the world. At last, I'd like to declare the successful launch of this special action. Thank you, Chair, and your colleagues for this launch. Talking about this special action, we believe the launching of this special action will be very supportive to the energy transition in the future. Let's wish sincerely the successful launch of this special action. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a conclusion of today's event. Through the opening session and the panel discussions and the launch of this special action, we can enjoy more opportunities of communication, dialogue, and pull wisdoms together. And we will transform the energies very well in the future, I believe. Many thanks to the organizer, the host, and the audience, staff, specialists, as well as the strategic partners, the ICBC and IPCC, and the China's Bank of Communications. Thank you. Successful conclusion of this event. At the same time, I'd like to thank Mr. Hanafi.
Here listening to every word throughout the event. Thank you so much. That shows the partnership. Thank you.